Welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I'm your host, GameChanger. Okay, so went on a binge recently about Africa and just a lot of the stuff that's going on there. A lot of stuff that's going on there, particularly with the X workers, the women who work for X. And I have to say that the level of manipulation going on, I'm not talking about between the client and the customer. I'm not talking about that. That's something that happens, price gouging, price negotiations, over negotiation, inflating prices or deflating prices, is just par for the course. I'm sure in that industry, that's what they do on both sides. But no, there's the X is one of the commodities that's being sold. Another one is sympathy. They are selling sympathy at a rate that is higher than the X itself. Now, those of you who believe that sympathy isn't something that you can sell, that a person can receive wealth from, never have met a homeless person. Never have seen a homeless person displaying their one arm or their emaciated kid or their mangy dog or something like that. You never seen that. You never seen them stand in the middle of a San Francisco street, pleading their woes to the general society, hoping to get some monies. They are playing on the sympathies of the general society. And that is what these three foes are doing. They hit you with this, oh, woe is me. Oh, woe is me. And once they see your tears, that's when the hand comes out. Now, to be fair, the hand doesn't literally have to come out. The hand is just implied. Because if you see something that drives you to such a passion to where, you're crying and stuff like that, then you want to eliminate the problem. Our entire welfare system here in the States is society's response to the whole woe is me situation, at least modern welfare. It's a way of trying to correct a problem. And the suggested correction always seems to be pay people for doing nothing. If somebody is doing something that they don't necessarily like doing, then we should pay them to do absolutely nothing. We shouldn't actually pay them to do something that they like a little bit more, train them, etc., etc., etc. No, you should pay them to do nothing. That's what you should do to everybody that complains about their job. This is the ridiculousness of a modernizing society and a modern society. You reach the point to where, okay, we are going to cure poverty by paying people to do nothing. But I'm going to play these short. While I do that, to hit that like button while I set up for that. All right. So, because I want to show y'all what I am talking about. So, share screen. Okay.
This is the house of Mariani and her family. This is where she's lived her whole life. There's her dog, Fidel Castro. So this is Mariani's mom, her dad, Mariani's sister. Hello. So this is the kitchen. Muéstrame tu casa, pues. Yo no quiero mostrar tu casa. Tú.
Mi casa es tuya. Pues este es el balcón. Este es el balcón de aquí sale el barrio. Tenemos para, como llega el agua cada 2 meses, tenemos que recoger el agua aquí. Y
So this is where they store the water. This Mariani's cousins and uncles viven ahí. This is where we had fiesta yesterday. Oh, as you can see, the bottle is empty.
eso están tomando.
Sí, ese era lleno ayer. This is where we had the barbecue. Tomamos un selfie aquí.
Yo mostrando el barrio este.
This is the house of Mariani and her family.
Okay. So, very attractive Venezuelan girl took her, I don't know, I'm assuming dudes are boyfriends, something like that, to meet the family, went to the slums and, all that good stuff and showed the bins that they stored water. I actually seen those bins, not in Venezuela. I've seen those bins in Brazil. And that was the first thing that came to my head. I mean, it wasn't anything official, but I did see those blue bins on the top of the roofs and the favelas, and which you can see readily from the beach side and from the freeway. Like right when you get off the airport, those of you who've been know. Those who know. Right when you get from the airport and a taxi is taking you on the freeway, you can see like the poorest parts of it. And it's just endless brick, miles and miles of brick buildings. Many of them, if not all of them, have these blue bins on top. And I was like, I wonder if they're using that to store rainwater. And truly enough, this confirms it. That's what it's used for. So that's why I wanted to make the short of the day. Salute to everybody that's here early. All right, let's get started. Or let's get started some more. So we live in a world to where if you have a sob story, you can get monies from GoFundMe. You can get monies from, what is it? GoFundMe. It was GoFundMe and something else. Just general, just people sending cash apps, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, which has led to a trend of sob stories. A lot of woe is me stories going on out there. Now, the problem, which is really something that you can ignore if you choose to, and you can indulge in if you choose to, meaning that you can contribute. Hey, if you feel that bad about it, then go to a developing country and cure their poverty. Just mow some lawns on the weekend and send them all your money, or send them all your disposable income if you really want to solve that particular problem. But the problem is, and this is how it reaches you, the people who just choose to ignore it and let the country develop naturally. The problem is that every story, every sob story needs a villain. And who's always the villain in these sob stories? MEN. It's always the men. It's always Jermaine's fault. So we're going to explore some of these stories. Hit the like button, and we're going to do a deep dig into what's actually going on here. So let me see. No, not YouTube. I got to go to my history I had everything set up, and then I dug deeper and started watching more of this stuff. And yeah, it's just ridiculously insulting. So now it's buried in my watch history, and I gotta go back more just to find it. Okay, is this it? Dang, these some ugly broads. All right, I think. Nah, this one. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is the one. Okay. Yeah, I watched all these foreign videos and African chicks, and I'm gonna just give y'all the highlights because it's sad and funny at the same time, and it's sad because people are falling for it. It's funny because it's not my daughter, but just in general, just the level of depravity that's going on is astounding. So here, let's start here. All right, hit that like button, people. Hit that like button. Dang it. All right.
I was not going to let her go like that. I was determined to get her back home. A UN body which helps trafficking victims agreed to help Aissata and Ike return to Sierra Leone.
Okay. So from what I see, they could probably get it. Who knows, but apparently these are ex-trafficking victims. These are women who were flued out from Sierra Leone to another place, and they were just forced to X. They were just forced to X. That's their side of the story. They were forced to X by these horrible, horrible men. Now that's their side of the story. What if they chose to go to this place? Look at these girls. They got their purses, they got their hair did, they come out smiling. I mean, you can't see it with the mask, but you can see it in their cheekbones. They're smiling. Why? Because you just gave them free shit. You just gave them free stuff. So they got flown out to a different part of Africa, to a wealthier part of Africa, did the do. And then they got flown back using African tears for free. And now they're back home with the money that they made in that bag that they have, in the backpack that they have, laughing at you.
It was a relief to welcome them home. So I don't come. It was so fulfilling for me when Aissata and her daughter, by March, we are reunited. Across town, another child will never be able to.
Something I noticed about this documentary is that all these 304s tend to not have boys, or the person who's making a documentary choose not to focus on the boys because their lives don't really matter. What happens to the boys of these women don't really matter. Every time they show the camera at kids or point the camera at kids, it's always at somebody's daughters, as if ex-workers are incapable of having sons. Something about their eggs just repels Y chromosomes. So I'm not going to show this whole thing, but I noticed that it's disgusting. It's called Ex-Workers in the Shadows, BBC Eye on Africa.
Unite with her mother. Rugiatu's sex worker mother, Gina, was murdered when she was 19 in 2020. Rugiatu now left to live with her grandma. Don't have a photo of her mother, and all she could do is drew a picture of her mother for memory.
That is crap. That is crap. all she can do is draw a picture of her mother for and why does your mama look like that? Is that the best you can do? Your mama got like a round nose. Your mama ain't got no eyelids. Your mama ain't got no hair. Well, your mama got like 10 strands of hair going straight up. That's your mama? That is a crap drawing. Your drawing is crap. You have no talent. Little girl, all I can do is draw a picture of my mama from memory. Do you remember your mom looking lopsided with no damn hair?
And I'll be playing. Which play when I be play?
We dey sit down, we dey laugh, we dey smile to ourselves. I like my mama because him back he like me.
She's turning it on, hoping to get something.
The world is now a very difficult place for her to live.
My mama and papa just all die. Me and my granny now we dey. You see, my granny die now. What I did to pass away and be big na life.
You will show me? Yeah, go before. Before I started filming with the sex workers, I never imagined how desperate the lives of these women could be. But one night changed that.
Yeah,
Remember they are with them bread?
yes, the back there has with it.
Now they walk.
Yes.
This night was when I met Mabiti, a sex worker, who was making out in a swamp in McKinney on a sack for $1.
I told him, you go. That only does so demand it up. I know, they complain like then 3 minutes, so then at 2 minutes. I don't know. So they meet up 1 hour 30 minutes.
By the 10,000.
Yes, so then 1 hour 30 minutes.
Still agree?
Where you want from back in the boy? It's not money I give you. Not for which me I don't.
Aggressive
So what
men.
you for do? The money they give you not for all that. The way you done.
On that ground, on that sack.
These are sack hoes. You are a sack 304. You are, first of all, I hope that there's no passport. I hope that there's no passport bros there. I hope that passport bros aren't down so bad that you find yourself in Sierra Leone in the middle of a swamp banging this broad for $1 on a sack. I hope that you're not down that bad. That you only got $1 and that's what you're doing with it. I hope y'all not representing that bad. That would be a true catastrophe. This is a $1 304. Wow. On her back, on a sack in a swamp in Africa. Man, I love to see stuff like this. I wish I was there. And listen, I would be there acting just like dude. But on the inside, I am cracking the heck up. And yes, I would film it. And yes, I would put it on Cornhub. Yes, I would put it on Cornhub and it would be, listen, if you ever see a corn saying, this broad in Sierra Leone get done for $1, know that that's me. Know that that's me. Know it was me that made that video. of me cracking up about a woman doing the do for $1 on the ground in the swamp in Africa. Somebody said swamp 304. Her box is a swamp monster. Somebody said Dollar Tree. Holy crap. Somebody said Dollar Tree. Hold on. I can't see that. Let me stop sharing for a second. Oh, what happened? All right. There we go. All right. Somebody said Dollar Tree. Oh man, that when I seen this, I was like, I got to share this with everybody. I got to share this. The $1 holla is a real thing. That is a real thing. Hold on. Okay, here we go. All right, let me play some more. By the way, this is not an attractive woman. Just pointing that out, which makes it worse, which makes the whole ordeal worse. You are thirsty. You are thirsty. They're used to, and I say used to because under this administration, the price of food went up. But there used to be a commercial that stuck in my head for Subway. $5 foot long. It's really catching on. $5 foot long. Like, I think about that commercial. And that is what your box is worth. 20% of a Subway sandwich. You can either have 2 and 2/4 or 4/10 of an inch of a Subway sandwich, or her box. Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button.
That's a daily life. And she told me she sometimes have 10 men in one night, all on that gun.
Why in the hell do you care? Why? She sometimes have 10 men on that sack. Why in the hell do you care? You bleeding hearts are simple. Why do you care? Look, what happened to your ear? One of them $1 hoes bit the bottom of your. Why you don't have no lobes? You Klingon? Why don't you have any lobes? I bet you $1 hoe bit his ear. Because she was hungry. I bet you $304 bit the bottom part of his ear off and left this swollen infection. What happened to your ear, sir? You got all the sympathy in the world for these 304s, and you only got half an earlobe.
About 6 to give them that I get to give you. They go school. The one now they 6 back here.
And another thing, he's like, sometimes they have to work and 10 times a night. I don't care. That's their job. I don't care. When I go to Subway and get a $5 footlong, do I say sometimes, it's sad that the person has to make 100 sandwiches a day? That's their job. So basically, if she's serving 10 dudes a night, that means that she's like 20 minutes? She's only working like 200 minutes? And then there's people who work. What about the 22-year skilled tradesman? Which, by the way, could mean anything. It could mean anything. It could be like any type of ridiculousness. It could be he could be the person that put the salt packets in the pockets. You ever dig into your pockets when you buy some new pants or something, and it's like a packet of salt or chemicals or something like that? You know, that could be your job. So there are people out there with really, really, really crappy jobs. There are people out there whose job is to literally get beaten up every day. Your job is to get punched in the face. Your job is to get elbowed by John Jones every day. You go home and they say, "What did you do today?" And you say, "I got my butt kicked because I am a sparring partner of the champion of the world." There are crappy jobs in the world. And her job just so happens to be a dollar sack 304.
Your money, catch a can na line. I pull that money that go give the teacher.
If I don't, I'm assuming she said the F word there, then I don't have money to pay for him to go to school. At least she cares about her son.
Before we can go school.
Oh my
Heart
gosh, she's about to
bleeds.
cry.
It bleeds. I feel ashamed to be a human.
And here it begins. If you find yourself crying over a dollar 304, a sack 304 on the floor in an African swamp, then you're a pathetic human being. You need to cut a portion of your penis off as you have cut a portion of your ear off. What happened? Did you go and get your ears pierced and then they just took the whole bottom? What in the world happened to your soul? That's what happens. That's what happens when you cry over 304s. You get a piece of your ear bitten off. I bet you Tyson just bit it off. Like, that's what happens when you do crap like that. Why are you crying over this 304? Listen. If you are a man boinking in the swamp, one of these 304s, then you have no standards, no sense of self-respect or decency, and you are down bad. You are social economically down bad. You are social economically down so bad that you would marry that sack hoe. One of her clients is willing to marry her, but she don't want to do that. Why don't she want to do that? For one, she want to remain independent. And for two, she feels that she makes more money this way, because if she services her husband like once or twice a day and he gives her an allowance of $1 a day, she's missing out on the other $9 a day that she gets from laying on a sack on her back. So she don't want to take the economic loss. So she's just choosing to continue to be a sack 304. And people like him is here crying about it. I feel so ashamed to be a human being. Mama Boonie. Boonie Mama. Oh, Mama. For those of you who don't know, that's a scene from The Color Purple when her son from Africa came. He was, "Oh, Boonie Mama. Oh, Boonie. Oh, Mama." That's the scene. That's what you sound like. You're crying over a sack hoe. Can't make this up. can't make this up. Where do they find people like you in the world? There is a person like you born every second. And they're not just selling box. They're selling you a sob story. They're selling you a sob story. Dude, oh man. Oh man. You can't put me in places like this and not have me crack up. Go home and tell the homies, like, hey, I was in this swamp and I seen these ugly broads selling box for $1 on a sack. And you cannot get me to stop cracking up about that. You can't. And everybody know that I like to amuse myself with prostitutes. For those of you who are new here, go ahead and subscribe. When I was in the Philippines, and so the go-go dancers in the bars, they're called bar girls, and they're also prostitutes, meaning that if you give them money, I think at the time it was $40, you could take them home. But while you're in the bar, you can make them do all kind of strange stuff for very little money. Like, so you can make them like arm wrestle for money. It was two of them. I made them. They was walking. They weren't in the bar. They were street walkers, and I made them race. I made them race in high heels to my amusement, and I gave them like, what was it? It was like 500 pesos, I think, something like that. I like doing stuff. Your plight don't concern me. And by the end of this, I'm gonna tell y'all why their plight don't concern me. I'm gonna tell y'all why their plight don't concern, but it doesn't. It's funny. All right.
I'm so ashamed of.
But I tell you what, when you become concerned with their plight, this is you. This is what happens. This will be you.
I put long money that go give the teacher before we picking go school.
That's you. That's you. You become
My heart
overly
bleeds.
concerned with a hoe's life.
It bleeds. I feel ashamed to be a human.
I am never going to be ashamed to be a human. We are the best species there is. We are the best species there is. Everything else gets eaten by us. I am not going to be ashamed of that. We are human. I am ashamed of being a human.
I'm so ashamed of my country. I'm so ashamed of everyone, everything, because there is so much that we can do together to improve this.
What can you do? What can you do?
But people are not thinking about it. No one is thinking about it. No one is talking about it. Babinti died in early 2023. I haven't been able to.
And she's dead. Now, he didn't say how, but we all know how. You have unprotected sex. Oh, by the way, it's unprotected. You want to know how I know it's unprotected? Because condoms cost. And if you are on a sack in an African swamp getting $1 box, then you don't have another dollar for a condom. That is the sad reality of being you. So she's on her back raw dogging it 10 times a day, by 10 different dudes.
Find out what happened to her children.
Probably don't even have any kids.
The man they had the same number. They had the first man there.
Hold on, there was a part I wanted to.
For
Hold on.
That's a daily life. And she told me she sometimes have 10 men in one night, all on that ground.
I know, they complain like then 3 minutes, so then at 2 minutes. I don't know. Sunday me they meet up
So you work 20.
1 hour 30 minutes.
By the 10,000.
Yes, Sunday na 1 hour 30 minutes.
Still agree?
Where you want from back in the boy? Na money I give you. Na for which me I done. So what you for do? The money they give you, not for all. The way you done.
On that ground, on that sack, that's a daily life.
Okay. Enough of that foolishness. All right, let's continue. Let me move forward. All right. I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but she has, and YouTube like to screen for certain words, so I'm gonna spell it out. But even if you spell it out, it's bad. So I'm gonna spell it out like Diddy. The H, the H, the I, the V, the H, the H, the I, the V. It's deadly. Yeah, it's deadly. The H, the H, the I, the V, the H, the H, the I, the V. It's deadly. That's right, it's deadly. Now that we know what she has, I want to point out her lashes. So she knew the camera was coming. And she's like, you know something? I got the H, the H, the I, the V, the H, the H, the I, the V. But I'm still going to sport these lashes. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering, like, how come she could afford lashes? She can't. Women like her dig through garbage cans and find used people's lashes and then glue it to their eyelids. Why? You think somebody is looking at your lashes right now? But me? But you think they're looking at it in a good way? Like, ooh, look at the lashes on her. It shows where the mindset is at. All right. Enough of that foolishness. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, she ain't got no foot. Let's look at this one. Fresh out of the ass beating. All right, let's see.
The most way saying that they pass the area. It can me go by them village pass there. So me back, I made me back a jump on the bike. I for them. I that bush damage me foot all a scrap. I jump.
Oh my gosh.
This foot here turn
So I swell one this one.
I did game over they pass so. And me man, I know I get 3 picking there. Now me picking there, I big so. And I say they tell me say they put boka.
Oh, by the way, she is going to be, because this spans 4 years. So, the first time he did it was 2020. And then he did a follow-up this year. And by now, she is a Kush 304. Apparently, there's a narcotic there called Kush. And she became addicted to it. and now her kids are being taken care of by someone else. And we're supposed to feel sorry for this shit. We're supposed to feel sorry for this 304 who lay on a sack on her back for $1 and use that dollar to go buy a narcotic while her kids suffer. We're supposed to feel sorry for that. We're supposed to, Amnesty International. We're supposed to give a damn about your foot. You're a trash human being. I have no sympathy for that. Somebody said these are the 30-foot women that they say Passport Bros are going after. Like I say, I hope Passport Bros are not in this swamp with $1. I hope not. I'm thinking that's what they do for the locals. And I think that they realize that they box isn't worthy of a Passport Bro. They have to find more lashes in a garbage can before a Passport Bro actually entertain one of these hoes. All right, let me see. He's holding a baby. Oh my God, they got bonnets. Let's see what this chick has to say.
Put the tight, please.
But once she throws her out of the house, she starts to feel guilty.
Even for the driver, maybe more later, I'll go and feel now. For make later. And then I regret them. Why make a driver for? I regret them. Because our match make a big driver.
I have not seen Nata and the children for a while. But Lady P has some news on them, and it's not good.
If you see Nata, you go sorry for her. Nata don't know what.
What's in do with yourself?
Nakush.
See, there you go. The kush.
So Nata Nakush.
Lady P took me to see her. Whoa.
I see the life, they go back to us.
Somebody said what part of Africa this is. This is Sierra Leone. For those of you who don't know much about Sierra Leone, like me, it's where they had that whole civil war over diamonds. And I know that happened in many countries, but this was one of the big ones.
Yeah, very close one.
And that's her.
Maybe it's another big.
Another. It change. Why it close? No go. Hold on. Ah. Only outside be left me and outside be there. Why be left in and then
All right, so enough of that, Ron. All right, let's move on. So she turned into a kush show. Who's that? Let me see. Oh, this part. Okay. I'm going to share this part with y'all.
Nata's children live with a grandmother and aunts. Nata sobered up enough to greet her eldest daughter coming back from school.
Yeah? Is she pregnant? Is she pregnant, addicted to whatever kush is?
Huh?
Is she pregnant or she's just grotesquely out of shape? This is what they want sympathy for.
Yes.
She didn't hug
This
her.
is not the dreadful reunion I was expecting. The child didn't want to stay with us. She just wants.
Why did you expect a cheerful reunion introducing this kid to her cush-head mom? She feels shame and humiliation from association with this woman. Why would you force this reunion? Now, the reason that this woman is doing this reunion is so people can feel sorry for her, and sympathy equals money. Write that down. Sympathy equals money that she could use for Kush. She wants you to see her motherly side. So she ambushes her daughter and, humiliates her daughter through this whole ordeal, hoping that she gets some sympathy. Sympathy equals dollars. Dollars equal Kush.
Want to go.
The people they don't mix up. This is Sabia. This is face in our remember. So how I must temper week where they see you, Mama.
You don't say anything.
Don't pass months. You don't see, Mama.
No, the one don't die. The one die. Okay.
What's in killer?
Now waiting killer.
Oh no, go back, then go back. But we got on, he say they have. We just see no more.
Asata, how come you friend yourself Usaide?
One boy was Rasta. That's a girl who for.
Okay, so basically, this is a woman who says that she was ex-trafficked and taken to Mali, I think it is, to work in a gold mine, or to service the men that work in gold mines. Now, a lot of times when people claim trafficked, they're just going to a place where they could sell their box for more than $1. And gold mine is like it's a gold mine. So of course you service the workers there and you make more money. But they say, "Oh no, I was trafficked. I was trapped." Let's dig into the traffic thing. He said there's a job in Ghana paying monthly, and we'd get everything we needed. Yeah, no, stop pretending. He didn't lie to you. You lied to us. This person probably didn't even exist. You and a group of 304s just got together and said, "Let's go to Ghana." I thought it was Mali, but let's go to Ghana and make that money. Let's take this box on the road.
Anything they get some, and they don't need.
Now also can tell you now say I they go to now for.
Let me say like Nani. So now so that.
Who hires a hoe to be a nanny?
So can join you back.
Thousands of women are trafficked out of Sierra Leone. They are either abducted or tricked into traveling out of the country with the promise of a better job.
They either are abducted or tricked, or they choose to go willingly. Kind of gaggers. Or they choose to go willingly. Or they choose to go willingly.
They are sold to foreigners in countries around the continent. They have been forced to sleep with hundreds of men. Those who are trafficked may never.
Now, notice how he doesn't say by what means they are forced. There has to be something at the opposite end of the or else. But they never tell you what. Are these guys saying, you will sleep with these men, or I will what? Are they being, threatened with bodily harm? Like what? Or are they just making up the forced part?
Never see home again.
Hey, what I want to if you they made them come back, they go to When I beg with the beg me there, be like me so I don't regret everything.
Which part
It's like
of
Okoyo.
Usai?
Okoyo. When I beg with the beg me there, be like
We are begging you to help us, please. I regret everything. So, y'all see what's going on? Remember, I told y'all, sympathy is currency. Sympathy is currency. We're begging you to help us, please. I regret everything. What did you do? You was trafficked. What did you do? You was trafficked. You see, you just told on yourself. You went there willingly. All right, let me shout out a supporter. Greatly appreciate Too Cool for School. He says, it's been a minute, fam. Glad to see you. Glad to see you too, man. Glad to see you too, brother.
me so I don't regret everything.
We are begging you to help us, please. That's how, see, living in the West, you see where this begging ends. This begging ends in billions and billions of dollars spent every year on a welfare system, given to women who are unappreciative of it, who feel entitled to it. That's where this begging ends. There isn't no end to this begging. And now she's begging for, I don't know, a ride back.
Which part
It's
of
like
that?
Okoyo.
Usai?
Okoyo.
Kukuyu.
Okoyo.
Who's
The
gold mine? Gold mine na Kukuyu.
So apparently she's working at John's in a gold mine. I'm telling y'all, she went there herself.
Hey, my mama. Oh.
I said at the beginning of this film that the world of the sex workers is dangerous and desperate. It takes me to so many dark places, but none darker than what happened to Zainab.
That's a chick with eyelash. All right, let me.
Yes, I need that.
So far, Boku.
Papa.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here's some more tears.
We go back into the car to go and say our prayers to Zainab's grave when Lady P spotted Zainab's boyfriend, Hamza.
Hamza! I'm not gonna play one.
That looks like her son. My first thing that's her son.
Why?
Why is she calling her mama?
I'm sorry, I'm come back. What can I say? I will get the can.
What in the world is going on? This is what is this? They are laying it on thick.
It's really piling up. It's really making a mountain. I don't want Lady P to mourn any more of her daughters. I don't want Aisata and her friends to die as sex slaves in Mali. Every day they send me these videos of the very devastated life they are living. I knew Aisata and I knew she was vulnerable. You think every minute something bad could happen to her. She may never come back home. She may never meet her daughter again. If the gang noticed that she was trying to escape or she was trying to return home, they could kill her, but they could do worse things to her. Could Aisata be rescued? I teamed up with a Mali crew, driving 3 hours outside of the Mali capital, Bamako, to try and pick her and
3 hours. He drove for 3 hours to pick this hoe up.
other trafficked Sierra Leonean women up from a notorious gold mining area. We are 2 kilometers away from reaching these women. 2 kilometers. I know this is a place because I've seen these camps, these shelters on video when I talk to the girls. I met Mary and Cardi first, 2 of Asata's traffic friends. They were all tired and just wish to be on the road away from their misery. Then we went to find Asata.
Aisha, manager Ranka. Yes, manager.
Where are the machine guns? Where are the guys with muscles that stand guard and that make sure that the locks on her handcuffs, because she's chained to the bed, are tight? What is this? What is this? What kind of trafficking is this? Where are the traffickers? Where are the people threatening her with bodily harm? Where are the gangs? Where are the big, evil, brutal men? I mean, wouldn't they be protecting their resource? Or did this hoe just lie and get you to drive 3 hours, and now you got to drive back for a free ride to town?
But go on, do yourself.
Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Where the picking body don't do? What did they eat now? We body don't so.
I know be well, malaria.
I was shocked that Aisata had lost a lot of weight. But a minute of talking to her, I was even more shocked because I saw in her condition, she was still...
Look, dude just walking by. No gangs, no nothing.
serving men in that hour.
Like, why is he pretending like he's Mario or Luigi Mario, and he just saved a princess? But where's Koopa? Where's the dragon?
Wow. Postaments? And the first cage, second cage?
The first one.
Saddest thing don't happen to you. What's it happen to you? It will make you really sad. It will make you feel bad.
The sadness is it's on. Now we are left now, me young baby.
Now she has to tell us that story. She's smiling. And
we tried to track down another traffic.
And they're not in a rush. They're not in a rush. You know, they sit there and filmed and stuff. And look, she has a jacket on. Look at this. But here she don't have a jacket on. So she took her time. She took her time and packed her bags to get ready to go. But she's supposed to be like this trafficking victim.
Kenny girl, Mamusu, but she was nowhere to be seen. We tried to track down another trafficked Makeni girl, Mamusu, but she was nowhere to be seen. I was told her madam hid her away in the bush. When she learned I was in town.
Listen at what they're saying. Listen at the lies here. I was told that they hid her away in the bush. Listen, why did they hide one 304, but they didn't hide another one? So the madam, which is a female, hid her in the bush. So once again, where are the guys with the machine gun? They knew you were coming and they hid the other girl, but they left her, the person that you're coming for. What kind of trafficking is this? Oh, the made up kind. This is the kind of trafficking that happens when a 304 decided to go to Cucamonga and didn't get no dough. So she sells you a sob story because she's out there in the middle of a gold mine. Nobody wants her box, so she wants to go back home where everybody looks like her and she can make a decent living because the bar is lower. The other chick is making money, so she don't want to go. They hit her in the bush. Shut the hell up. Do you actually believe this crap? Hit the like button. All right, hold on. Let me just.
Or IOM, a UN body which can aid trafficked people, agreed to help the women return to Sierra Leone.
Yep.
So we took the women to their Bamako compound. Come on. When I know the thing I am. Yeah.
Tears. And look at what these tears. She ain't got no hair. Look at what these tears is getting these rods.
Organization for Migration, or IOM, a UN.
A bleeding heart organization, the UN, meaning that it's foreign money, meaning it's zaddy.
Body which can aid trafficked people, agreed to help the women return to Sierra Leone. So we took the women to their Bamako compound. Come on. When I know the thing I am. Yeah? I know the thing. No cry. No cry. We will see again.
This chick got a silver or gold chain. Crying trafficked.
Of course, you know, see, I get for good receive now. I got in power, yeah? And for take your drugs, I sat down. The fever will occupy you. This way the church here you must. And this place is hot. For take your drugs, yeah? Kadi, no cry. No cry, everything will be okay, yeah? All right.
So now they tears have earned them a free apartment or something. Free apartment, house, whatever you want to call it. Somewhere, you know, they got to upgrade to their living. Something for nothing. Tears.
A few days later, Aisata and Kadi were ejected from the IOM and then another IOM approved center and forced to live in a tent.
Oh, they got rejected.
The peer said they were told to leave because they smoked cigarettes indoors. The IOM said it will not discuss the matter for confidentiality reasons, that it was aware of the difficult situation and understood.
They didn't get kicked out of the home because they smoked cigarettes. This chick is a habitual liar.
Concerns about the women's plight. It's been a life-changing 4 years for me that I believe my life will never be the same. They taught me real life stories.
All right, so Melody just got
They
here.
made me
Talking
think,
about the show.
they made me
last
have
night.
compassion
I'm
to make sure I achieve
gonna
the
show her the
change in
part
the stories
that
of
we was
these
talking
women
about.
somehow, someday. Before I started filming with the sex workers, I never imagined how desperate the lives of these women would be. But one night changed that.
Yeah.
Remember they are with bread?
Yes, the back house with it.
Now they walk.
Yes.
This night was when I met Mabinti, a sex worker, who was making out in a swamp in McKinney on a sack for $1.
I told him, that only does so demand it up. I know, they complain like then 3 minutes, so then at 2 minutes, London. So then they meet up 1 hour 30 minutes.
By the 10,000.
Yes, so then 1 hour 30 minutes.
Still agree?
Eh, we want from back in the boy. It's na money I give you. Na for which me done. So what is it for do? The money they then give you, not for all.
And yep, there you go, Melody. $1 sack ho. $1 sack ho. You really have to know.
It's a done.
On that ground, on that sack, that's a daily life. And she told me she sometimes have 10 men in one night, all on that ground.
About 6 to give them that I get to give. They all they go school. The one now they 6 back I know your money pass I can't na line. I pull that money that go give the teacher before we picking go school.
My heart bleeds. It bleeds. I feel ashamed to be a human. I'm so ashamed of
Yeah, and that's him crying
my
over it.
country. I'm so ashamed of everyone, everything.
Why are
Because
you ashamed? You're ashamed because you
there is so much that we can do together to improve this.
You're ashamed because you
But
spent that dollar.
people are not thinking about it. No one is thinking about it. No one is talking about it. Babinti died in early 2023. I haven't been able to find out what happened to her children.
There was a part where she said, turn off the camera.
That only does so demand it up. When they go so, when they go so. On TV, don't not grab. Not on grab. Not when the camera so not come over.
She said, now turn the camera this way. Okay, let's see. Let's see what happens.
You outside.
That's outside.
No, don't film this, please. Please.
Okay. And there you have it. After she's done, she goes and washes her box off with swamp water. Holy crap. Yeah, like, okay. Now that I'm done with that, let me just get an old kettle and wash my box with swamp water. You are down bad. If you are a man and you are receiving this swamp water dollar box on a sack, you are down terrible. You are down terrible. Hey, but the price is right though. I guess $1. Oh man. All right. So, I'm not done yet. Now we're going to go to Somali. Now we are going to go to Somalia. Yep. The Somalia. Let's see what Somali tears are worth.
I want to report my case to find that man who played with my life. I want to find him because my life now is very hard. I don't have a life now.
Ayan has come to meet the local police chief. She wants to track down the man who tricked her into a sham marriage.
Next client.
Dari awal, nakuja kuripot kesi yangu.
The man that tricked her into a sham marriage. Is that what happened, or were you sold a dream? I mean, because the story that she's trying to get us to buy is that this guy had a fake wedding and had his homeboy pretend to be the pastor and then took her on a honeymoon and then left. That's the story that she's trying to sell us. Like, oh, it was a sham wedding, you know. And then she went back to the chapel, all to find out that the chapel was really just an old Blockbuster video, and it was just a bunch of boxes there with a picture of dude pointing and laughing at her. Like, that is what she's trying to sell. That is the tears that she's trying to sell. But really, you just wanted that rich dick. When the rich man wants you bad, and you know Somali niggas have nothing. These hoes ain't loyal. And because of your disloyalty, look at you. Look at you. You was born with a box and a prayer. And now you just have a prayer. You got sold a dream, pumped and dumped, and now you are in the police station. Now watch this.
Where is he now? Where can I find him?
Last week he was here. So now if he's here or not, I don't know.
Okay, give me his number. Hello, please can you come to my office? My name's Jawahir Mohammed.
Now, pay attention, because this is going to come up later. Pay attention to her polite demeanor right now. Could you please come to my office? My name is Muhammad Ali.
I am the area chief of Islin North Sublocation, and I have your wife here. Your wife Ayan Issa Salah, complaining of disowning of your child.
So she called dude and said, I got your wife here. And dude said, what? I mean, you could tell by her response. He was like, yeah, your wife, Princess Jasmine, or whatever her name is. Your wife Mumbu. Like, I have your wife here. He's like, what? I ain't got no wife. She's lying. She's lying to the police. And she's putting on false charges. Listen at this.
I have your wife here.
My what?
Your wife, Ayan, Issa Salah,
My wife?
complaining of disowning of your child. Please,
Disowning
can you
my
avail
child? Like,
yourself
he's like, what the hell is going on?
in my office?
I never told this brother.
Give me time frame. 11 o'clock. Thank you. Okay, welcome. Just wait till.
He didn't change his number. He didn't block her. Nothing. Nothing at all. He did. He just sitting there with the same phone number, getting a call from the police. And look at how polite this policewoman is.
Welcome. Okay, and then we will solve your problem. Next customer.
Customer, really?
This is Eastleigh, a district of Nairobi, where a growing number of women have been reporting serious cases of male exploitation.
I hate it. So there's always trigger words that could tell you the reporter's intention. Whenever they call women women and men males, it means that they're lightweight adjacent to feminists. Where women workers are subject to male exploitation. All right.
They are victims of a form of sex tourism. Somali men from the West travel here to have sex with young women, but do so under the guise of marriage. It's known as vacation marriage. Most of the population in Eastleigh are Somalis. It has also become a popular destination for Somalis who live in Europe and America. I have come to meet Ayan at home. She's staying with a friend because her family have thrown her out. guurkan dhibka uu ku keenay familkaagiibaa ku dayriyay.
walaalkay gaariga u dambeeya magaalada ku socdaa laakiin
This is not a young woman. This is not a young woman. If she is a young woman, then she has had a very, very, very stressful life. Now, the name of this video is Sex Tourists Duping Somali Virgins into Marriage. Are you kidding me? This chick was not a virgin. He didn't dupe her into marriage. This is a chick who is very, very, very close to the wall. I mean, she probably actually hit because she's hit the wall now. She's hit the wall now. Chances are she has hit the wall before she met this dude. And this dude was her last dick effort to actually get a hold of somebody.
Why?
The Issa Saha family has a good name worldwide. I don't know your name. I don't know your name. Nobody knows your damn name. You try to come up on somebody's come up.
walaashii xataa maalin loo aroosa xalla hay wadana tii ka yar wadana wal aroosa adila laguma aroosin ulka ugu horeeyba garaca noo keentay ilaa hadda ana ismacnaa kaligay isma jecli wallahi.
So she grows up in a culture where it's a shame to bring a bastard in the world, which is a good culture. So of course she's gonna lie on TV and say we were married. He tricked me into marrying him because my baby isn't a bastard. No, we were married. It's just that it was a sham marriage, and he's a male. He's a male, and it was a sham marriage. You see, yeah, I don't have a marriage certificate. I don't have any proof that this was a sham or that we were ever married or anything like that, but I would never bring a bastard into the world because I am a Somali virgin and I was duped into marriage. Can I have $1? Here's the tears. Here's the tears. The money shot. Oh my gosh, she's wiping her tears on that carpet.
Displaced by war and poverty, many Somalis settled in the West, but they regularly travel back to East Africa. Some of the men who come here use brokers to seek out brides who are virgins or clean, as they call them. To conduct the marriage, all they need are 2 male witnesses and a so-called sheikh to give his blessing. But when the men return to their families in the West, their new brides are abandoned, no longer a virgin, their dignity and...
This is not true. Like, show us the evidence. You're saying that these guys are, you're saying that these guys are pretending to be married to these chicks just to get some. And then they leave and go back to America. It's nonsensical. And it's strange that the only side of the story that we have is hers.
Honor within society is gone. Yasmin grew up in the Kakuma refugee camp. She moved to Nairobi after losing both her parents. And it's here she met a Somali man from London. She reported her case to the police and his relatives, but she says he tricked her again.
Look, I'm not condoning just going around Johnny Appleseed these broads. But I don't believe you when you give the pretend marriage part of the story. I don't. I believe that you was down bad and you did the whole GFE for this dude. Because, okay, these dudes are the same. These are not passport bros. These are their own people. They're people who've just been in the West. So if you are a Somali dude and you made it to the West, most likely you made it to the West through university on a student visa, meaning that you were an exceptional student and they sent you to the US, they sent you, to go to Stanford or something, to go to Harvard or something, and then you go back home to visit with your chest out. And then these chicks was like, yeah, well, I used to think that you were lame because you used to study all the time. But now that you are making Western money so let's have a baby. Let's have a baby. And he's like, that I'm married in Somalia to another woman who went to Harvard with me, right? Or have a woman back in the States, that's okay. Just have a baby. I just want a piece of you before you go. I just want something to remember you by. And then next thing you know, she's like, we were married and he left his baby. Shut your ass up. You dug his sperm out the condom and put it on your pussy like swamp water. Don't take stories for face value.
planken ku jirnay uu ii imaaday uu yidhi gabar walaashay imaaday cunuga keenan soo tusaa waa soo laabanayna.
And by the way, the child might not even be his. He came back and said he wanted to take the child to show his sister and we would bring him back. This child probably isn't even his. This child is probably Chinese. He probably want to borrow that kid and show his sister, like, hey, this bitch said that this is my kid. Just so everybody could laugh at the situation.
Way hande waa u leelabisay caani waxaas ugu shubay u qaatay moobig dambe ma soo noqonin.
Oh, he took the kid and didn't come back.
Police are trying to crack down on these so-called vacation marriages. But men know that dollars and a Western passport can often help them evade justice in Kenya.
Hello, children officer, how are you? Morning.
Look at how polite
I have a case whereby the person is an alien from Somalia. The father is nowhere to be seen.
Every morning, women keep.
Why is it only the ugly broads? Ever notice that? Mole. Mole. Mole.
Queue up to meet Jawahir Muhammad, the only female Somali police chief in Nairobi. She sees more than a dozen.
Hold on. Let's be clear, Dolomite. This is not a passport bro issue. These are other Somali guys. These are other Somali guys. These are guys who are from Somali, who went elsewhere to make money or get an education, come back to visit or whatever. Why? Because they don't want the passport bro industry to end. They want it to thrive. So the crap that they're doing to their own men, they can do to passport bros. Make no mistake, they're not going to make this complaints about a white dude from Australia. You see, when in doubt, the first thing women do is attack their own men. You go back into the 80s. Go back into the 80s and then point a camera at a black chick on welfare. And then listen to her tears. It's the same sob story. Oh, my man is just so awful that he pumped and dumped me and he left me with this kid because he bow-legged, and then he walked away, and then when I showed him his kid, you know, he spat on the kid, and then he spat on me, and then, you know, he walked away and I said, please take me back, and then he shit it in his hand and threw it at me. That's what they do. When in doubt, blame your own men.
Women a day complaining about male exploitation.
Next client.
Women here trust her because she understands their plight.
So she gets this man, came from Europe. He promised her heaven, whereby he will not do anything for her. When he gets her, the few months that he's been given visa to stay in the country, he will stay with her and get the marriage. You know.
Okay, so it's pretty much like Western women over here. So you're saying that they're all running from the same deception manipulation playbook? Yes, yes, they are. And so would men. Let's be clear. So would men. Anybody who grew up in a society where people believe everything you say, by default, will come up with crazy crap all the time. But nobody believes men. You know, because there's a believe all women movement, but there's never a believe all man movement. Imagine if we lived in a world where a woman can walk into a police station, face all bruised and battered and stuff, and then, and then when the police go to the guy's house, he says, "Oh no, I didn't beat this woman." Like, sir, we got you on camera. It wasn't me. We saw the marks on her shoulder. It wasn't me. You beat her even louder. It wasn't me. Imagine if people just believed all men. But they don't. Because for whatever reason, they believe that women are incapable of deception and men are capable of deception. By the way, if somebody is able to convince you that they are incapable of deception, then they are really capable of it because they just deceived you into believing that. Hit the like button.
He will take her to a sheikh. They will engage each other. This lady, she can get disease for first. She can get disease. She can get pregnant. And this man, when he goes back, he leaves her in a pathetic way. So this lady, she doesn't know how to trace this man. This lady, she doesn't know the way forward. She is there to suffer alone.
Night after night, we met with men who boasted about marrying young women. None of them wanted to go on camera.
Because you didn't meet them. You didn't meet them. First of all, boasting about marrying young women is not the same as saying that you scamming women through false weddings. Everybody likes to marry young women, except other women and rainbow people. Everybody else likes to marry young women. Like, oh, and just out of convenience, these men do not go on. We don't actually have any evidence, but believe all women.
But a group of young Somali professionals we met said this practice was an open secret.
When a guy comes solely just with an intention of sex tourism, it's a very big global phenomena. Guys go to Thailand, to China, to Asia. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's actually an issue that's been talked about, but not in the Somali societies.
I believe girls have some bit to play. I mean, we can all say 100% men are probably.
Thank you. Somebody with an IQ as thick as his glasses. Thank you. At least Somali dudes aren't idiots.
Once this guy comes, her intention is to exploit as well.
Yep, he just called it out. Now, first of all, the other dude was answering a question about sex tourism, which is a real thing in every developing part of the world. That's not the same as pretending to marry these broads. See, sex tourism is something that's done between two consenting adults or multiple consenting adults, depending on, the sex tour, but it's something that's done between consenting adults. They want to show a story of deception, not consent. So they want to make it seem like these women were deceived out of their consent, but no. He wanted booty, he wanted money.
Girls who live below a $1, they don't even have $1 to use for a day. That's so disheartening. So when this girl tries to change her life, tries to look for work, she goes to a guy, or the only thing that he sees, this girl is vulnerable. She has nothing. She came up to his door to look for work. So the only thing that he thinks first is, can I use you first? You get it?
Yes. Yes, I get it. So y'all see what's going on here? Hit the like button. Can y'all fathom what's going on here? Instead of for just having people pay for a service, what she's suggesting is that they pay for nothing. Imagine it's you, right? Imagine you just walking down the streets of Somali. And then a woman comes up to you and says, "Excuse me, sir. Would you like to buy some pussy?" And you say, "Why, yes, I do." And she says, "Well, all right." And then somebody else comes along and says, "I can't believe that you're buying this woman's pussy." And you say, "You know something? You're right. It's wrong for me to buy her pussy. I'm just going to take my money and walk away." And she's like, "No, no, no, no. Wait a minute. I want you to leave the money. And I want you to not fuck her. Because we don't actually want you to not pay her. That's not what she's advocating. We just want you to not sleep with her too." Like, what the hell? That's free money. That's welfare. That's where it all begins. That is where welfare begins. Like, just give me something for doing nothing. Give me something for doing nothing. Give me something for doing nothing because I'm poor.
And some of these women,
Here, I'm gonna play her
to look
back.
for work. As this girl tries to change her life, tries to look for work, she goes to a guy, or the only thing that he sees, this girl is vulnerable. She has nothing. She came up to his door to look for work. So the only thing that he thinks first is, can I use you first? You get it?
Yes, I get it. He wants your pussy. This girl has nothing. This girl is vulnerable. I don't have an OnlyFans account. What I'm going to do is I am going to become an incel. And I am going to go on OnlyFans. And I am going to say, I have no pussy. I am sexually poor. You are sexually wealthy. Give me some of what you have for free. Does that work on any woman ever? Melody, could a guy come up to you and say, "Listen, I haven't had sex in 2 years. Give me some free pussy"? Yes, I have plenty of stuff, but just give it to me for free because I don't have it. D2, can a guy come up to you with that? Can guys just walk up to women and say, "Listen, I don't have it, so you should give it to me"? You should feel sorry for me and give it to me. Give me some of that sympathy pussy. But they expect that from society. It's weird.
And some of these women end up in Eastleigh's red light district. It's where 17-year-old Jamila works.
meeshaan dhammaan soo gashay qof kale oo Soomaali
Oh,
isla degan
here's-
soo galaysa ma laha.
This is the money shot. And y'all gonna see what I mean when I say money shot. This is the money shot. The tears is the money shot. Watch this.
Aan laakiin unugteena aan
When I
korsanaya
raise my daughter here, I live here.
ya magac xun ay ugu dhacsan tahay ya
I've been given a
waxay
bad
leeyihiin
name.
sharmuteynka waa
Is that name
laakiin
my fault?
aniga gabar Soomaaliyeed waa soo galaya meesha
You work in a brothel. That is hoe. What do you mean? Yes, you have a bad name, and that name is hoe. That's what happens when you sell pussy. And now you're selling tears.
intada seexanayso aan degan
She's basically begging for free money so she don't have to sell pussy.
Jamila was only 15 when she met Mahat from America. She was forced into sex work after being abandoned by her family.
ninka gabar saaxiibadeeda wiila saaxiib oo qabo aa i baraniga oo dhawiilkan uu kaa helin
Okay. I'm not gonna call dude a passport, bro. I'm gonna just call dude a nasty ass nigga for messing with 50. Well, he probably didn't even know. So never mind. He probably didn't even know. But you know, yeah. Oh crap. He said he likes you and he's from America. Pay attention, fellas. Pay attention. Pay attention. As an American, you got that international BDE. You got that international BED. Oh, no, my bad. International BDE. You got the, okay, let me go back a little bit.
Being abandoned by her family.
ninka gabar saaxiibadeeda wiila saaxiib
My friend's husband is the one that introduced me to the guy. What kind of situation is this? If you were 15. I mean, is your friend also 15? Like, this is strange. Hold on. This is strange. I'm assuming that the husband is an adult and he introduced you to another adult, but it's weird. But anyway, my friend's husband is the one who introduced me to the guy.
oo qabo aa i baraniga oo dhawiilkan uu kaa helin
He said he likes you and he's from America. Okay. I want y'all to think about what that means. If you are a guy if you're an American who wish to travel and not mess with 15-year-old girls. There is no game required whatsoever. There's no pickup line. There's no, oh, I gotta stay smooth. I gotta say smooth. I gotta say fresh. I gotta say smooth. I gotta have swag. I gotta look good. Gotta keep my hair done. Like there isn't none of that. Apparently, you just walk up to somebody and say, hey, tell her I likes her and I'm American. I likes her and I'm American. That seemed to have been the only criteria.
Maraykanku ka yimaaday adiga soo ugu xergeliyo wax badan uu ku qarash gareeyay qarash lacag uu sabay.
So you are a hoe. Yeah, look at your teeth. You are a hoe. He spent a lot of money on me to try to lure me. You are holding his baby. I think he did lure you. You are holding his baby. He tried to lure me with money. Yeah, I fucked him. But he tried to lure me with money. He did lure you with money.
Nikax markuu isameeyay la joogay 3 bilood amal uu baxay.
Jamila wanted us to show her face, hoping someone would help her.
Sympathy. I want to show you my face because I want somebody to help.
Inaan dambo aqalgayga intiga xaadinay ugu dambeynayso ma kalsoonaanay wax kastoo dhisi waad bacdaad heer kala dhamaysan lacagtiisa anugteeda waxa uu soo gatay gurigana iska bixiyay bas.
How does it make you?
Yo, Ike, I'm put this link out for Ike so we could get an African perspective on this. If you want to come up, you're welcome to.
Feel that Somali men are coming here to abuse young
So
girls.
as a mother, I feel very, very bad to see a woman who have made either a child or does not have a child, but her marriage is not settled. I feel very bad. I could urge those men who are coming to marry, let them fear God and sustain the marriage.
Ayan never did hear back from her husband. His 11 o'clock appointment with the police chief never happened. But Ayan hasn't given up trying to find him.
Okay. Why they make it seem like dude is running? All right, let me see if I can. There's one more I want to find because they did a follow-up to this. Now, I want y'all to remember a couple of things. I want y'all to remember that one girl's tears, and I want you to remember how polite the police chief was. I want y'all to remember those two things. How polite the police chief was, and that one girl's tears. Okay. Now, the name of this video is called, okay, Ike's in a meeting. The name of this video is called Escaping Sex Tourism. Escaping Sex Tourism. Okay, so.
Experienced more hardship in her short years than many do in a lifetime. She lives in Eastleigh, a Somali neighborhood in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi. It's where a vast number of women have been reporting serious cases of male exploitation.
Wait, is this the same one?
This was Jamila last year, living in a brothel.
That's the one that was crying.
Laakiin unugteena aan korsanaya aan deganahay ya magac xun ay ugu dhacsantahay ya waxay leeyihiin meesha muteynka waa laakiin aniga gabar Soomaaliyeed waa soo galaya meesha unugteeda seexanayso aan deganahay.
Jamila and others were being exploited by Somali men coming from the West. They marry the girls and then abandon them. It's known as vacation marriage. Although the practice of vacation marriage or sex tourism was long known within the Somali communities worldwide, it was seen as a taboo subject. But when our story came out, It created an intense debate. I am now back in Eastleigh, Nairobi, to find out if anything has changed. Jamila is no longer living in the brothel. In fact, this is an extraordinary tale of how her life has changed. After our film was aired, her story exploded on social media. Twitter was alight with the hashtag Justice for Jamila. And a fierce debate began on Facebook on who was to blame. On top of that, nearly 1 million people viewed it on YouTube. That's what takes us to Melbourne, Australia. One person who saw it on YouTube and decided to do something about it was Ferdosa. She has just given birth to her own daughter. She set up a GoFundMe page to raise money for Jamila.
I saw how vulnerable and how low and how
She's seen them tears. She's seen them tears.
sad she was. I was angry. I was upset. I had different emotions, but I wasn't very much surprised because I lived in Nairobi and I knew, and I worked with young girls, young vulnerable girls, did different community programs, and I knew things like this were happening.
Oh, ya Allah.
The page raised $15,000.
Throughout the day, it kept on.
Her tears got her $15,000. Her tears got her $15,000. More money than her box. Her tears got her $15,000. Western people just giving money. And now look at her. Look at her. Happy as can be. Now, just so y'all know, the average income in Somali is between $100 and $500 monthly. Now, which means that she has 150 months pay. What is that, like 12 years? So imagine if somebody just said, if you cry a little bit, we'll give you 12 years of pay. This is welfare. This is how it starts. A sob story that you get everybody to believe, where the only solution is to give them money.
Piling up and piling up and piling up. And I was like, wow, this is happening. You know, I was very excited. And within 3 days, the money was all raised. And because the story was very touching, so many people were touched. So many people wanted to make a difference.
And it did. The money Ferdosa raised has changed Jamila's life. I went to visit her in her new home. It's a 1-bedroom flat, but to Jamila, it means everything.
hadda laakiin meeshaan iskaga ciyaaraysaa barsada banaankii oo bixisa ciyaal daris la ciyaaraysaa soo nadaafadeedu iska fiican tahay meeshaas nadaafad xataa ma lahayn.
That forehead. Anyway, I can't say this about her. She's still living modestly. She's not out splurging. So I can't say that. She's not being reckless with the dough. At least not that's appearing here.
Different oo dhaxay xataa meeshaas camal intay ku korin ilaahay ka bariyay ilaahayna ducadeedu inta dad TV haysta mar movie daawanaya intada karsanaya inta guriga karsanaa ka fiican malaha.
She has also used the money to set up her own small business and is now the proud owner of a fruit and veg shop. It's called Masha Allah, meaning what God wanted. Another woman helping Jamila change her life.
Okay. I am happy that she's spending the money right. She started a fruit and vegetable shop, and she's preserving it. She got a modest apartment, or who knows, maybe that's a less modest apartment. But she did do right by it. Now that's actually done by design, and you're about to see that all of this is by design. They know if they showed her use the money irresponsibly, then fewer people will actually donate to this garbage. So, and this stock, the Forex value of Somali tears will go down if she spent it recklessly. So, yeah. Image is everything. You're about to see this right now. Watch this.
Life is the police chief of Eastleigh.
karibu shule watoto hii kidogo wanaumbwa kila siku wanatoroka. Wewe complain ya watoto ni mingi, na wewe nitakufukuza hapa. Wewe aondoe. Simple. Take.
Yep. Let me tell y'all something. Especially in Africa. If you have a camera, you could pretty much get people to well, I guess I could say especially in America. When you have a camera, you could get people to do pretty much anything. Once the camera starts rolling, people turn into whatever character that the people want, because they want to be seen. So remember how polite she was on the phone in the first interview a year ago? And she was like, "Mister, could you please come over at 11 p.m.? Yes, I have your wife here. Yes, please stop by at 11 p.m. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Have a nice day. Goodbye." Remember how polite she was? Remember I kept pointing that out? Like, she's very polite. She's very polite. And now look at her. She got the stick. She got the beret. Well, she had the beret in the last thing, but she got the stick and she's walking around like a drill sergeant. And look at the look on this boy's face. He's in shock. And the reason why he's in shock is because she don't normally act like this. Somebody told her to act like this, and she is. Basically, she's yelling at some dude about a dog on the street that she feels could bite the kids, but the kids aren't even being threatened. And you're the chief of the district. No, you're just showing off. Now you're just dick waving. And that dick is in your hand. Like, it's ridiculous. The theatrics, I mean, you take away from the validity of everything that's going on here when you do crap like this. Here, I'm gonna go back some. Look, dude is confused. Like, what is going on? Because this is a very strange thing.
dileen qof gumaysanaynin oo xoog lii sheeganaynin alxamdulilah gadaal intaa una qodmar markii ilaaha ila garab galo hore le intaa u socdaa rabaa.
Another woman helping Jamila.
That is a stray dog. That is a stray dog. And she's telling some dude to tell the owner of this stray dog to take it away. Where's the collar on the dog? That's a stray dog. What are you talking about? She just want to be seen barking orders to somebody who has nothing to do with this situation. To a dog that's completely harmless.
That changed her life is the police chief of Eastleigh.
It's not his dog. It's not his dog. It's not his dog.
Simple. Take note.
Jawahir Muhammad as a no-nonsense approach to law and order.
Wamama nasi, wamama paka wako na kazi, wamama. Mama uko na swali?
Wait, what? This is just so fake.
Muhammad as a no-nonsense approach to law and order.
Wamama nasi, wamama paka wako na kazi, wamama.
Your wives are busy and working. Have you any questions for me? All right. This is just weird as fuck. This chick is a complete weirdo. And the people who are doing this video are weirdos for allowing this nonsense to happen. This theatrics. These dudes are sitting down, minding their own damn business. And then this chick comes out of nowhere like, do you have any questions for me? Listen, bitch, you will know when I have a question for you when I come to you and ask a question, you dumbass whore. That is stupid as hell. Do you have any questions for me? I want each of you to do that. And then I want you to record the look on people's face when they realize how much of a dumbass you are. I'm just going to go down the streets on the block. And then I'm going to look at a bunch of dudes rolling dice, and I'm going to walk up to them and say, hey, do y'all got any questions for me? Like, what the fuck? Go to random people and ask if you have any questions. Ask them if they have any questions for you. And then she throws in, your wives are busy and working. These dudes look confused because they don't have rings on. Like, what do you? This dude, no ring. I can't see his left hand, but they like, this broad is ridiculous. This broad is ridiculous. Do you have any questions for? And she got the beret on and shit. Man, I wish I was in Somali right now. Or not right now, but when this happened. Your wives are busy and working. Do you have any questions for me? I have a question. What did the 5 fingers say to the face? That would be my question. You dumbass militant whore. You fat bitch. What the heck? What in the entire fuck is this?
Mama uko na swali?
She's a low.
And this chick, this bride, you ugly bitch. You are just elated. Like, ooh, look. Yeah, she put the smack down on them niggas. She told them. And they wonder why passport bros don't go to Africa. Because of some dumbass crap like this. What the fuck was that?
Local legend, trusted by women, feared by men. They follow her like a rock star around the streets as she lays down.
And that's a good thing. She's trusted by women and feared by men. Nobody fears this bitch. They fear the men behind this bitch. Nobody actually fears this individual bitch. Nobody. They fear all the other men in the same uniform. But why do they? How sexist is that? How sexist is that? She's trusted by women and feared by men. Imagine saying that. Imagine saying this cop here is beloved by whites and feared by blacks. Like, what the fuck? So the cops are racist. Imagine being a white police officer and you go up to a bunch of black dudes and say, "You guys have any questions for me?" What the fuck? She's parading around because they told her to. They wanted to create a narrative of a drill. Because remember, on the first video, she was oh so polite. Now in the second video, she's a drill sergeant, bitch, and you got a bunch of people walking behind her, because they want attention too. They want some camera time too. They want their 15 minutes of fame too. Hopefully they'll get $15,000.
When we met her last year, women were queuing, complaining about male exploitation.
Okay, give me his number.
She dealt with more than a dozen women every day.
Please, can you come to my office?
Oh my God, somebody married that bitch. They're not even in Somalia. This is a Kenyan chick. Or, I mean, you know, she could be an immigrant, but y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. This is retarded. They just completely took away from all the validity of the BBC. And no, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the British Broadcasting Corporation.
I have your wife here. Your wife, Ayan, Isa Sala.
Today, she's patrolling the streets to watch over vulnerable girls. She warns the local taxi drivers they must report to her if they see anything suspicious.
What the hell?
Any child who is not 18 years old, below 18 years old is a child. If you take a child to your taxi and you see somebody else like a man inside, you come and report. No, immediately report it. Please, immediately.
Oh my gosh. I wasn't a fan of NWA when I was a kid. My brother was, I wasn't. Even as a kid, I was like, this is not going to be a good thing for black people. But I am a fan of Ice Cube, and I was back then. A bitch is a bitch. Stuff like that. But one line I'll never forget. She was scared, and it was showing. We all said, "Fuck you, bitch," and kept going. She just went up to a group of taxi drivers saying, "I want you to report if you see any suspicious activity." Fuck you, bitch, and kept going. Remember how she was talking about the last dudes, like, you know, your wives are out working. Do you have any questions for me? What the fuck? Now she's like, you know, I want you to report. Fuck you. Fuck you. If somebody wants to smoke weed in the back of my cab, I'm going to ask for a piece. You do not owe this fat bitch anything. I had to work off, when I was young, I had to work off a ticket. Which means that you had to do like a certain number of hours of community service and crap like that. And my station was at the BART station. So I'm picking up trash, minding my own damn business. And the woman who in the parks department went and reported to the cop, the one that drove us there. And he makes sure that everything is in order while we do our job and do our penance to the community. So it was some white Russian dude that's not working. And in situations like that, everybody crew up, right? I had my crew, he had his crew, all Russian, and everybody, Latins, everybody, people just stuck together, and since it was male, female, the females, sometimes they'd be in our crew or they go wherever, but usually they had their own little cackle too. So this cop, was in this dude's face, in this Russian dude's face, making this big ordeal about it. You're not working, those picks ain't swinging, and then he sends him over for whatever reason. He sends him from his group of Russians to my crew. And then he says to me and this other dude, make sure he works. I was like, nigga, what? This is a white officer. I was like, what the hell are you talking? I was like, look, I mean, he could work with us, but I'm not gonna put that is your job. I am not. What the hell? Make sure you work, nigga. Shut the fuck up. That is some idiot talk if I ever see. It is not. He is a grown man. I'm here to do my job. I am not. This is payback. This is community service. I am not the I'm not the whatchamacallit. I am not a supervisor of community service. I have a limited number of days here. I'm a worker. Shut the fuck up. And she's on that same shit. She's on that same stuff. It is not these dudes' job to report stuff. Yes, it would be nice if they report something egregious. I believe people should, but I also believe that they're not obligated to. They're not obligated to do that. Dick swinging, you don't owe this bitch nothing. Just like I didn't owe that officer shit. Fuck that. If dude want to, because it was a dude in our crew who was a Hell's Angel, and he used to sneak off and smoke weed. You think I snitched? No, because why? It's not my fucking job. And same thing with the Russian dude. If he wants to sneak off and smoke some weed, that is his fucking business. Ditzy, bro. Man, I can't.
Report it because if you see a small child who have a school uniform and the time of school is not yet still, and you are driving her to another destination, there is something fishy.
Jawahir tries to protect the women and still keeps a close eye over Jamila.
Oh my God. This is McGruff's sister. And she even looked like him. This is McGruff's sister. For those of you who don't know who McGruff is because you was born this side of the millennium, Google Take a Bite Out of Crime or McGruff the Crime Dog, because that's what she's doing right now. That is what she's doing right now. This bitch is McGruff's sister.
He tries to protect the women and still keeps a close eye over Jamila.
Leave the girls alone, especially you guys watching. Leave them alone. Okay. I'm going to leave them the fuck alone. Which means no GoFundMe monies, and which means no monies to your shitty ass neighborhood and your shitty ass town. Okay? No money for that. I'm leaving. Passport Bros, take your money elsewhere, or else you're going to come across this ridiculous Green Beret bitch who'll randomly come up to you and say, "Do you have any questions for me?"
fiirsanaysaan kugu wadaa iska daa gabdhaha yarka ood Kenya intaad Nairobi maata aad ku cunayso ha Jamiila hadda waa ka soo
eye over Jamila.
war iska daayaan ilaa waliba adiga fiirsanaysaan kugu wadaa iska daa gabdhaha yarka ood Kenya intaad Nairobi maata.
Well, I guess she's talking to Austin Holloman. Ain't he in Nairobi? Like, I mean, shouldn't he take his money and leave? And look, she just like grinning. She just said grinning.
aad ku cunayso ha Jamiila hadda waa ka soo baxday kuwa kale ku jirana waa ka bixinaynaa insha Allah.
She has come back from the abyss. A year ago when you interviewed her, you just said next customer.
Allah waliba intaan xukunka isleeyahayo nin
As long as I'm the chief of East Lee, what is that? No man from abroad will abuse a young girl. Dick waving. Dick waving. Well, apparently not. In addition to being able to abuse old women, they're able to abuse old men. And they're able to abuse young men. That makes sense to her. She sounds like she's running for the mayor of Bitchtown. She looks like a fucking rejected Dahomey warrior.
Back in Australia, Fardusa is mentoring Jamila as she grows her little empire. The two women regularly keep in touch.
والله قروحة نقطة I can't believe ما شاء الله different أو إكتر يعني مرة رأيك هذا بيسي
الحمد لله.
hello high five شمسة كده.
While $15,000 was raised, she has an allowance of $400 a month to make sure the money is spent wisely.
هاي إيجي شيء business كادي دكانكي iyo meesha qudaarta
fiicanta abaawe kala socota alxamdulilah waa isku daya inkasta ay biicshirada ugu cusub tahay laakiin waan dadaalayaa
ma sha Allah business kana xooga saar inaad markasto aad ku dadaashid aad ka give up gareynin wuu ku fiicnaanayaa markaas
She did what she had to do to feed her daughter.
It's not much wrong with putting lipstick on your daughter, I guess. Except for when you were a hoe. It just don't hit right when you was a hoe.
I believe every person in the world is worthy of something good, of a better life.
For Jamila, there are still challenges ahead. She hasn't fully recovered from her ordeal. But thanks to the power of social media and the generosity of strangers, life for her and her daughter is looking brighter.
Tears money. Tears money. All right, we're going to do one more video of Tears money. This stuff, It's really sad that they just go on camera, say how bad men are, and people give them money. It's a tears lottery. Because remember, the first bitch didn't get anything, but that's probably because she looked like shit. Outside of that, it is a tears lottery. They just tell a sob story, and that story really is about how they suck dick for money, but they paint it off as, I was so poor I had to suck dick for money. I was so poor I had to get a degree and a job. The fuck up. All right, one more. Let's see. Oh crap, I gotta look through all these videos to find it. All right, give me a second, y'all. Hit that like button while I get this together. Foreign men, 10 African countries with women eager. No, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Okay, because I played them all today. So what was this, yesterday? Let's see. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, hit that like button. Let me see if they learn from Keisha how to finesse men. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Keisha finessed America out of a whole welfare system and continue to do so with their tears. And they never interview the men. That's the funny thing about this. They never interview the men ever. All right, here's another one.
In most African countries, pretty much everyone either employs a domestic worker, is related to a domestic worker, or is a domestic worker. They're mostly women, many of them young girls, commonly referred to as house girls. But how much do employers even think about who their maids really are or where they come from?
Huku mtu anaweza kutumia kama punda.
I don't think about anybody that serves me ever. I had to take a lift yesterday to pick up my car from a mechanic. I didn't think about this. He had an accent. I didn't think about this person's life and history. I don't think about it. Like, if I go to Subway and get a $5 footlong, I don't think about their history.
Nataka pia wajue ati sisi pia ni watu, lakini kosa tu pesa.
We know that you're people. That's why we pay you to do shit.
Workers is they work in a hidden industry because you see they live in people's private households, closed doors and closed walls. So they work in slavery.
Her feet is worse than shoes. What the hell?
The problem with domestic workers is they work in a hidden industry because you see they live in people's private households, closed doors.
Her feet are worse than shoes. You know that when people say take your shoes off so you don't mess up the carpet, but listen, take your feet off. Like, ooh.
And closed walls. So they work in slavery-like conditions.
Kwa hivyo hakuna vile mtu anaweza jificha ati atoke kwa hiyo mboma. Hizi alama zenye ziko kwa shingo nazo, ananingwara na makucha zake.
In this film, we're going to shed some light on the secret lives of house girls. We're in eastern Uganda, close to the border.
When I go places, I do appreciate little stuff like that. So I could say that I've seen it. I go to a country, I could say like, okay, now I've seen a guy on a bicycle, on a bike, on a motorbike, with 3 goats on the back of it. There's something you'll never see in the States. If I did, I would be like, oh crap, I've seen it all now. When I woke up this morning, I did not expect to see a guy on a motorcycle with 3 goats on the back.
We're in eastern Uganda, close to the border with Kenya. The villages on both sides of the border supply many of neighboring Kenya's domestic workers. It's here that we meet 2 sisters. Esther is 21 and plans to leave for Kenya's capital, Nairobi, to find work as a housemaid.
Maisha Nairobi ni afadhali kuliko hapa.
Nimeona juu huko unaweza pata pesa, lakini ukikaa huku huwezi hata pata ya kukula, hata ya kununua kitu uvaa huwezi pata. Kazi iko lakini pesa ya huku ni kidogo. Si unajua huku wanakupatia just 30 per month. Sasa hiyo pesa huwezi subiri na hiyo. Tunaendanga huko juu tunapata pesa mzuri huko Nairobi. Kama umepata kazi mzuri, maisha inakuanga poa.
Esther's elder sister, Juliet, is 24. She's already been to Nairobi as a domestic worker and earned enough money to build a new family home.
Nataka kurudi, lakini kwanza nataka wanitafutie kazi ikipatikana ndio niende. Nikukosa tu fare lakini ingeenda.
While Juliet did make money in Nairobi, the experience was a painful one.
Kwenda hawezi nipatia chakula. Mwezi ikifika umuitishe pesa yako, anakutusi, anakuambia mimi nitakuua kwa nyumba yangu, atienda. Mwingine anifukuza, huyo tu alinifukuza usiku. Unaweza tafuta upate.
Y'all see this bullshit? I'm telling you, they always follow the lead of the camera person. In the same paragraph, she went from, yes, I was a housemaid and I bought this house from my years of being a house girl. And then they're like, well, but tell me something bad. Oh, yeah, they used to abuse me and not feed me. And at the end of the month, when I asked for a paycheck, the paycheck that I used to buy this house, they just smacked me. Because that's what's going on. Like if you just hear one side of the story, when you just hear one side of a story, every month when it's time to get paid, they smack me. Payday, bitch! And then they just smack the shit out of me. Like these people, they're always like these impossible villains. No, you did a job and you bought a house.
Boss mzuri ama upate mbaya. Ukipata mbaya huwezi vumilia kukaa na yeye, unatoka.
Lakini bado hiyo inafadhali kuliko kukaa hapa.
Naweza kaa kutoka asubuhi mpaka mchana, lakini sioni hata kitu. Ndio nimesema wacha niende huko. Tafadhali ufanye wakupatie kitu. Kila siku basi zinapitisha watu, zinapeleka huko Nairobi. Basi zinapita 3 kwa siku.
Esther and Juliet's parents have struggled to provide for their 7 children. They managed to raise just enough money for Esther's bus ticket, though. She's packing to leave tonight. All along the border, the villagers are giving up their daughters in this new wave of migration. money made in Kenya can go a long way here, thanks to the strength of the Kenyan shilling against Uganda's currency.
So y'all know, Uganda is landlocked and Kenya isn't, so they have more money.
In another Ugandan village along the border, a local leader introduces me to Euphrasia Juma. She lives alone, surviving on the harvest from a small plot of cassava and a jackfruit tree. Her only granddaughter, named Scovia, got on a bus 2 months ago and left to find work in Nairobi, like many other young girls in this area.
Niambie kwa nini Scovia aliondoka? Nani huo lake mjaji? Nani hulesi? Maisha kwa hiyo hapa
away from the Ugandan border. The city is the beating heart of commerce in Kenya and a cosmopolitan hub for the East African region. It's estimated that there are 1 million domestic workers in Nairobi. Many of them come to the city from rural parts of Kenya, but increasingly, just people they know. Many of the girls arrive here in Nairobi with nothing more than the phone number of the person who sent for them and very little knowledge of just how difficult the life they're about to enter might turn out to be.
Come on. Come on. Okay, it's buffering. It's buffering because they don't want to hear my perspective.
The city's informal settlements absorb a large proportion of the new workers. They're the only places most domestic workers can afford to live, and where Ugandan girls seek accommodation when they arrive. I received a call from Esther. She told me she's arrived in Nairobi, and this is where she's staying. So I'm going to go and find out how her job search is going. Esther is sharing with 3 other young Ugandans to keep costs down. They're splitting the $15 a month rent between them.
Okay, so $15 a month, and this is where they live.
It's a corrugated iron structure
people.
and baking hot inside. They have no electricity and share a single mattress.
utatumia jinsi gani kutafuta kazi?
Unajua iko
So
rafiki
dude's
yetu
sleeping with 2
mwingine
chicks every night.
ule Juliet anakuanga anaishi na yeye huko, akona marafiki wengi huku, ndio yeye ndo anatafutanga kazi, anasikianga kazi, na huyu pia mara anafanya anaweza kusikia, na mimi pia mimi mwenyewe nitakuwa natembea kutafuta, nifike kwa nyumba niulize kama iko mtu anataka mtu kufanya kazi.
Esther would prefer to find a job like her roommate Rachel's, but they're hard to come by.
Nilikuwa nafanya kwa hoteli.
Ipi ndio nzuri, kazi ya hoteli au kazi ya nyumbani?
Lakini hao wanalipanga kila siku, na ya nyumba ya mwezi tu.
Unajua kwa hoteli unakulanga, chai unakunywa, na kwa nyumba huwezi pata hata chai. Lakini huyu mwenye anafanya ule bosi yake, nimemuona ni mkuu wa simu.
Mzuri tu, ananipatianga chakula kila siku.
Unakupatia chakula gani?
Mchele na chai.
Unapata kazi nzuri.
All right. I want to skip past. First, I just want y'all to get a sense of her poverty. This is the poverty of a Ugandan house girl.
Girls like her arriving from Uganda are causing tensions with Kenyan domestic workers.
Now,
it's a topic.
That's a good point, because these girls are illegal immigrants. Though they're complaining, which it's like, you go to somebody else's country, take a job illegally, and then complain about the work conditions. You're a fucking bitch. Like, I know it's shitty work conditions. That's why they hired you. If they wanted, okay. I'm not going to say who they are. I'm just going to say Home Depot people. So say you hire a group of Home Depot people to help you move, as I have. And then they go on TV and complain and say, my wages are lower than a moving company. The moving companies cost this much per room. I only make this much per room. That's why I hired you. That's why I hired you. That's why I freaking hired you.
That features prominently at this meeting they're holding to talk about their challenges. The discussion is being led by Khadija, a local activist and domestic worker herself.
Hao watu wa Uganda wanatunyanyasa sana. Ukipata kazi unapiga bei mzuri, akikuja anaharibu bei. Sasa ukienda kuuliza kazi mahali anaambiwa wewe Mkenya, mimi sitaki Mkenya. Mimi nataka wale wa Uganda. Nyinyi wa Kenya bei yenu ni kali.
Ukiwa pale kwa nyumba, mnaona kuna tofauti ile wao wanafanya na sisi hatuwezi fanya? Ama wao wanafanya sana ama usafi zaidi?
Okay.
Hakuna tofauti na hakuna kazi wanajua. Lakini shida mtu anapepa mtaota paka na mchuku yake. Sasa huyu mchuku wake
A daily, private reality for many of them. One case that did make it into the public eye and outraged the nation is that of this Kenyan maid. Mercy Mwake emerged from a police station claiming she'd just escaped from employers who tortured and imprisoned her.
Kazi zingine umefanya tu makosa kidogo.
Okay. So they show this complex.
Emerged from a police station claiming she'd just escaped from employers who tortured.
They show this complex with the gate and the barbed wire on the fence and stuff. That's to keep people out. This is a gated community. And this gated community wants to keep people out. They didn't build a fence with barbed wire on it so your maid don't escape and you'd have to hire another one.
And imprisoned her.
Kazi zingine umefanya tu makosa kidogo, labda unjatengeneza mahali vizuri vile anataka, ananichapa. Hizi alama zenye ziko kwa shingo nazo, ananingwara na makucha zake.
Here we go with the tears.
Nimefanya makosa.
Here we go with the tears.
Kwa ukuta.
The money shot.
Kikombe akanipasua hapa mara mbili. Huwa wanatupiga picha, wanatuambia hizo picha wamepeana kwa gate, kwa hivyo hakuna vile mtu anaweza njificha ati atoke kwa hiyo mboma.
The tears, the money shot. They're trying to make it seem like they're keeping these girls captive. They're not. How did you wind up going to the police?
Mercy's case is now in court. It's been 9 months since she appeared in those shocking news reports. The judge hopes the case can be resolved through mediation. But even getting Mercy and her former employers to talk to each other is a challenge.
The parties were given time to negotiate. What's the progress?
We will pray that possible in a month's time. Negotiate. So this is a civil trial. So she's trying to get some money. She wants some money.
No, you cannot say that.
The judge is upset that the lawyers haven't even begun to negotiate.
Both parties agreed that they will explore an out-of-court settlement because of the relationship between the complainant, Mercy Mwake.
Don't give this bitch nothing.
The relationship between Mercy and
both parties feel aggrieved. The accused deny all the charges, insisting that Mercy wasn't held against her will and that her injuries had nothing to do with them.
she was like a sister to me, and I assisted her.
We have taken her holidays.
Now, I want y'all to think about what's going on here. Imagine having the ability to, at any given time, say that your employer abused you and give me money. Now, notice she's not calling for the arrest of the employer. No. This is civil court. She wants some money. Have you all negotiated? This chick is not in handcuffs. They haven't no proof of what happened, where the scratches and stuff came from.
Leave her in the house. She used to have the freedom. Our bedrooms, everything. She used to be there throughout. And I don't know why they're driving out the shoes.
I'm perfectly human. Maybe there are times maybe I shouted. I told her to just go leave my house. Even maybe that is the only thing I've done to her. Maybe she thought she deserved more, or maybe I brought her so close to us for her to feel like she's entitled. She's supposed to get this because I showed her from the word go, you're part of the family.
Was there never an incident where you lost your temper with her?
I've lost my tempers, yes, but never in a million years like thought of hitting her or going physical. No, that is never.
The case highlights the complex relationship between employer and employee operating behind closed doors in intimate spaces.
Enyewe nikiwaona huwa nakumbuka tu chenye walikuwa wananifanyia. Sasa hapo ndo naanzanga kusikia vibaya, najiuliza mbona walikuwa wananifanyia vitu kama hizi. Hizo tu ndo vitu huwa nawafikiriria.
We also feel aggrieved because so many wrong things were said in the media. For example, they say that Mercy has never been seen since 2014, and Mercy even attended a wedding.
I don't want us to get into the merits.
Yes.
Are you people really keen on settling this?
The judge don't want to have anything to do with this. She just wants them to settle because she don't want to render a judgment. So she's just hoping that they settle, that they come to some middle ground so she don't have to deal with this and be a part of, because every decision is the wrong decision. If you side with the couple, then later it comes out that, they did beat her, then you're liable for a bad decision there. If you side with the chick and then later it comes out that she lied, you're liable for a bad decision there. So she's just like, listen, y'all settle.
This month. In fact, as early as the 20th of September 2018, nothing has happened.
Negotiations have failed because parties have not even met.
These advocates are here to represent you. So I would want them to facilitate that kind of meeting. Is that okay with you? That is much proper. Why wasn't it proper before between yourselves? I want you to step up for 5 minutes. Advocate.
This case might have never reached a courtroom if Mercy hadn't been supported by a charity in her quest for justice.
See, charity. Charity, I'm telling you, is currency.
Most cases like these are never heard, not by a judge, not by anyone.
This is for all the girls.
Now, take a look at, now remember the living conditions before. If you don't remember, let me see if I can find it. It was another girl, sure, but I mean, this is the living conditions of a regular housemate. You got the tin wall.
Sister is sharing with 3 other young Ugandans to keep costs down. They're splitting the $15 a month rent between them.
It looks like it smells
It's a corrugated iron structure and baking hot inside.
And you sleep in the same mattress with 2 people, one of them a dude. That may or may not be like one of the chick's boyfriends. So, and if they are, then somebody's a for real third wheel. Or if he's smashing both, he's just enjoying life. But this is the conditions of poverty that they have while working. So let me show you. Let me show you, because you're giving people an incentive to lie. This is working. This is how you're living if you're working and making. This is an honest living. This is a dishonest living. You got your own bed. You got your mattress to yourself. Painted walls that's made out of drywall, not tin. You probably got electricity in there and everything. This is their incentive to lie. Like, if you want to get out of that trashy ghetto, you just lie on your boss.
How long would the girl stay? Like 2 years.
So now we have motive.
Edith Morogo is the founder of the Center for Domestic Training and Development.
Look at how clean the streets
She
are
runs the
compared to where
shelter
the
where
other places
Mercy
came
now
from.
lives and is enrolled in a training course.
Training
The
courses.
center supports girls who say they've been abused or mistreated as domestic workers. There are 70 beds here, and most of the girls occupying them are between 10 and 20 years old.
Is it hard to cover all the costs?
Yeah, we fundraise a lot.
All right, so that's enough of that. So basically what we have is a situation that they are creating that's similar to ours, where a person gets more money, receive more public funds, receive a higher quality of life by living dishonestly than they do honestly. All it takes is a lie. In America, if you lie and say that you have an illness or something, then you get on disability and you get monies for not doing stuff. If you lie and say, this guy impregnated me, and he just left or some crap. If you make up a convincing story, they give you money. They give you money. And I see it in every facet. There was a politician who said Black people don't have computers in their home. Now, why would she know or care if we do or don't? But and obviously most of us do. But she says stuff like that, which really shows how much greater society don't know about what's going on. So then, and people actually do this, like, yes, I would like to start a nonprofit organization, to teach ghetto Black kids how to type, because most of them don't have a computer in their home. And then they like, okay, here's the check, vote Democrat. And then they just take that check and run because everybody knows how to type. I want to teach ghetto babies how to use Google. It's crap like that. Charity is an industry now. Unfortunate, sad, but true. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody, the members, managers, Cash App, Super Chats. This is GameChanger 00100. Watch who you get your money to. Game over. Peace.